Whitney's death, did you see that coming? Did you?
No, I didn't.
You had no idea it was that bad?
No. I don't remember too much else after that.
We gather today to honor and reflect on the incredible life of the legendary Cissy Houston, a woman whose voice touched millions, whose love for music shaped generations, and whose legacy will live on forever. While her passing has left a deep void in the hearts of many, her impact and memory will continue to inspire us all. Please, before we begin, take a moment to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps keep stories like these alive. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts or memories of Cissy Houston. Let's dive into her remarkable life. Cissy Houston was born Emily Drinkard on September 30th, 1933, in Newark, New Jersey, to parents Nitcholas and Delia May Drinkard. Her family was deeply rooted in music, with the Drinkard household often filled with the sounds of gospel. Her parents were devout Christians, and their faith played a significant role in shaping her upbringing. Cissy was the youngest of 8 children, and from an early age, she displayed an exceptional talent for singing, which became a source of pride and hope for her family. Cissy attended Southside High School in Newark, where she honed her musical skills. While education was important, her true calling always seemed to lie in music. She was a natural performer, captivating audiences with her strong, soulful voice even as a young woman. However, it was her deep gospel roots that defined her early musical journey. Houston was the mother of singer and actress Whitney Houston, the aunt of singers Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick, and a cousin of opera singer Leontine Price. Houston was the grandmother of Whitney Houston's only child, Bobby Christina Brown. Houston was a founding member of the R&B group The Sweet Inspirations and sang backup for artists such as Roy Hamilton, Dionne Warwick, Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, and Chaka Khan. Houston embarked on a solo career in 1970 and won 2 Grammy Awards in the traditional gospel album category. Career: The Drinkard Singers. In the 1950s, Cissy joined her siblings in forming a gospel group called the Drinkard Singers, one of the first gospel groups to receive mainstream recognition. The group featured several of her family members, including her older sister Lee Drinkard Warwick, and they quickly rose to prominence in the gospel music community. They recorded a successful album, A Joyful Noise, which helped solidify their place in gospel history. The Sweet Inspirations. In 1963, Cissy founded the Sweet Inspirations, a vocal backup group that provided harmonies for some of the biggest stars of the 1960s. The group gained fame for their work with artists like Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, and Dionne Warwick, Cissy's niece. Cissy's powerful soprano was integral to the group's success, and they became known for their versatility, backing a variety of musicians across genres. Their time with Elvis Presley, in particular, is well remembered, with the Sweet Inspirations regularly performing with him on tour from 1969 until his death. Solo career and session musician. Cissy began to emerge as a solo artist in the early 1970s. Her first solo album, Presenting Cissy Houston, 1970, was a modest success. Throughout her career, she became one of the most sought-after session musicians, lending her voice to countless hits, including some of the most iconic songs of the era. She worked with artists such as Van Morrison, Luther Vandross, and Chaka Khan. Her voice became a key element in shaping the sound of a soul, gospel, and R&B scenes during the 1970s and beyond. Gospel soloist and duets. Gospel music remained a cornerstone of Cissy's life. As a solo gospel artist, she released albums that were deeply rooted in her faith. Her 1996 album Face to Face earned her a Grammy Award for Best Traditional Soul Gospel Album. She also performed duets with her daughter, Whitney Houston, as well as other artists, and became known for her emotional and spiritually charged performances. New Hope Baptist Church Youth Inspirational Choir. Cissy was more than a performer. She was also a mentor. As the director of the New Hope Baptist Church Youth Inspirational Choir, she dedicated herself to guiding the next generation of gospel singers. Under her leadership, the choir became one of the most respected in the gospel world. This role was particularly close to her heart, as it allowed her to continue her legacy of faith, family, and music. Personal life, marriages, and children. Cissy Houston's personal life was filled with love and challenges. She was married twice. Her first marriage was to Freddie Garland in 1955, with whom she had a son, Gary Garland, born 1957, an NBA basketball player and DePaul University Athletic Hall of Famer. Their marriage was short-lived, and they divorced soon after. In 1959, Cissy married John Russell Houston Jr., with whom she had two more children, Michael Houston, born 1961, a songwriter and road manager, and daughter Whitney, born 1963 and died 2012, who went on to be a world-renowned singer, actress, and entertainer. John and Cissy's marriage turned volatile, and by 1977, they agreed to legally separate, though they remained married until 1991. Houston has 6 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. Cissy's devotion to her children was profound, especially her bond with Whitney. She nurtured Whitney's musical talent from a young age, guiding her to become one of the most successful singers of all time. However, Cissy also faced heartbreaking moments as a mother, particularly with Whitney's struggles with addiction. The death of Whitney Houston. In the late 1990s, when her daughter Whitney began to struggle with drug addiction, Cissy staged several interventions to get her into rehabilitation programs. In 2012, Cissy Houston faced the unimaginable pain of losing her daughter, Whitney Houston. Whitney's tragic passing at the age of 48 was a devastating blow for Cissy, one that she spoke about in her 2013 memoir, Remembering Whitney. In the book, she reflected on their relationship, Whitney's struggles, and the deep sorrow of losing her beloved daughter. Despite the tragedy, Cissy remained strong in her faith, finding comfort in the love and support of her family and church community. Death and health. In her later years, Cissy faced various health issues but remained resilient. She continued to stay active in her church and in the lives of her family and grandchildren. Cissy Houston died at her home in Newark on October 7, 2024, at the age of 91. She had been in hospice care for Alzheimer's disease. Lifestyle, net worth, houses, and cars. Cissy Houston lived a life of modest comfort, grounded in her faith. Her work as a session musician, solo artist, and gospel leader earned her a steady income. Her net worth at the time of her death was estimated to be around $7 million. Though she was not one to flaunt her wealth, Cissy owned a home in East Orange, New Jersey, where she lived for many years. In terms of lifestyle, Cissy was deeply religious and devoted to her family. Her home was filled with love, music, and the warmth of her faith. While she may have owned a few luxury items, such as cars, Cissy was not known for living extravagantly. Legacy. Cissy Houston's legacy is one that spans generations. As a singer, she helped shape the sound of gospel and R&B music for decades. Her influence extended to her children, particularly Whitney, whose career was a direct reflection of Cissy's musical guidance. Cissy's work as a session singer put her voice on some of the most iconic records in American music history. Her impact as a gospel leader, mentor, and mother will continue to be felt for years to come. She leaves behind a legacy of resilience, faith, and extraordinary talent. And so, as we reflect on the life of Cissy Houston, we remember her not just as a legendary singer, but as a woman of faith, a devoted mother, and a beacon of strength. Her voice may be silent now, but her music and legacy will live on forever. Thank you for joining us today. Please take a moment to honor Cissy by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Rest in peace, Cissy Houston. You will be dearly missed.